Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, we're going to be talking about my impressions that I have had from playing out the brand new patch that just came out yesterday, the mid-chapter patch. There's a lot to go over. I can't summarize it very succinctly, but I have multiple videos on the channel, which I'll plug up there, where I go over the changes more in depth if you are unaware of what just went through. And I want to talk about my experience today because I played 4 hours of Survivor and 3.5 hours to Killer, so I played half and half today, and I have a lot of takeaways. And I want to say that just to start off with, that's a pretty good patch. That's pretty good. I thought, okay, so the main concern going into this was like a lot of people were lamenting that like solo queue is dead because a lot of the changes that end up going through the mid chapter are mostly like killer base kit changes like partial brutal strength, partial stabiffle, lowered speed burst after getting hit, all this stuff that helps every killer across the board, helps every killer across the board. So most people thought that solo queue would be dead. And I'm happy to tell you that I quite literally had to get my chat to tell me to stop playing Survivor today. I was vibing very hard on Survivor today. I was having a good time testing out the new perks. Off the Record is a great substitution for DS, and in some cases a lot better because with DS you have to wait for them to pick you up and they can wait out the timer. You can't really wait out an 80-second timer. You can't really wait out an 80-second timer. So they are forced to usually hit you before that 80 seconds is up, and then you get that speed burst so you can chain more tiles together, whereas DS, they can kind of leave you on the floor and wait the DS out for 60 seconds. So yeah, and in a lot of ways, Off the Record is a very good substitute for DS. I ran it today, and it was a good counter to most of the tunneling that happened. Base kit BT, or at least half base kit BT, has been wonderful because I've been running all kinds of perks I've always wanted to run because I've always had at least one perk slot dedicated to BT because I just didn't want to be a bad teammate. So now that that's a thing, I don't have to necessarily be running BT, which means I can just run all these kinds of builds and stuff that I've always wanted to run, but I've just been worried about being a bad teammate, so I don't have to run those things anymore. So it's been really nice. Iron Will, everybody thought that perk was going to be dead. I used it on a ton of characters, and you can barely tell the difference. Now, a Spirit with Strider will. Yeah, that's coming. but for the most part, yeah, I could barely hear them still. Iron Will's still going to do the job of helping you chain tiles together and losing the killer. It's still going to do its job. It's just a little more fair now. So, yeah. And I did play solo queue all day. I didn't play with friends. I played with solo queue. I played by myself. So yeah, my experience was still really nice. There were some bad situations that maybe could be addressed. For example, the 90-second gen thing, I did not even notice it. For the most part, I didn't even notice it. But I did start noticing it is when we had Legions with Thana. Legions with Thana absolutely is really frustrating and really annoying to deal with, because they make the match go forever. Thana was already kind of a so-so perk, but then they upped its percentile by 2%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get that on 4 people, that's an 8% increase to gen slowdown. So that stacks up. You know, when we have somebody like Legion who can very easily dish out those injuries, that adds up after a while, and the gens that already are taking longer are going to take even longer, which is, whew, that's cool. I hope they, I don't know. If we're trying to move away from slowdown, right? We're trying to kill the meta, so to speak. We're trying to destroy the meta. And we're trying to get away equally from the exhaustion meta as we are trying to get away from the slowdown meta. Why did we buff slowdown perk? That's my question. If we are trying ourselves to get away from the slowdown meta, why did we buff a slowdown? That doesn't really make sense to me. Probably just return to the end of the way it was. That's the only thing. Otherwise, Survivor was actually pretty good. I had a pretty good time. Like I said, I had to ask chat. I'm like, I should probably play killer now, right? And I had to pull it because like I was having such a good time that I just wanted to keep queuing in Survivor. And I was doing old challenges and stuff. It was super fun, and I was really happy. I used sprint burst sometimes, but most of the time I just kind of like didn't even need an exhaustion. Like it was just nice. It was just nice. Like the game was not as negatively impacted as everybody was making it out to be, which is really, really, really wonderful. Onto the killer side of things, playing M1 killers doesn't feel awful anymore because of all the changes I mentioned at the beginning: the built-in brutal, the built-in stabiffle, and the lower speed burst upon hitting someone. that, all in all, 100% made all those killers feel a lot better. And you could double down on that. You could run stuff like Brutal Enduring still and make that feel even better. So chase perks are better than they've ever been, because you kind of have partial chase perks built into your kit now. So you can double up and really focus on chases without it, gradually affecting your outcomes in the match. Like, because that was the thing. If you ran a lot of chase perks before this mid chapter, you would often have like a complete lack of results. Just because like it doesn't matter if you were ending your chases slightly quicker. The gen efficiency was still way too, well, no other word for it, efficient. So it didn't really matter that your chases were going quicker because the gens were just going too fast. But now, like, you have part of that baked in, so you can just run more perks, whether it be to double down on your chase or info or whatever. And that's one of the things I really, really loved about playing Killer today, was I ran like no slowdown for like half of my builds. I ran no slowdown. I wouldn't even say half, like 3/4. 3/4 of the time I played today, 3/4 of my matches, I didn't run a single slowdown. And if I did, it was like Jolt. I ran like Jolt. And it's like, it's so nice to just go, I'm playing Nemesis. I'm already kind of an annoying character. Why don't I just run End Fury and Shadowborn? Like I'm playing Huntress, who's somebody I probably have my most hours on. I'm like, what if I just do a full aura reading build? Let's just do Darkness Revealed, Lethal, Barbecue, and then something else. Like it was just cool. It was just cool to just like run the things I want and not have to worry about it. Because before this mid chapter, on most killers, like, running what you want usually came at the acknowledgement that you were going to lose. That was just kind of how it was. Like, if you wanted to run a fun build that was mostly based around just like doing something cool, something neat, something entertaining, you kind of accepted your defeat at a certain point. You're just like, oh, well, I'm probably not going to win this, so whatever, we're just playing for fun here. Now you can run those fun, interesting builds and not necessarily be locked into an L automatically. And that's something that this game has direly needed for a really, really long time, I think. Now, of course, obviously a lot of this comes down to Dead Hard being dead. Like I said in my previous video, I think 0.5 seconds, I think it was fine at 1 second, but I will definitely take the way it is now. That was such a long time that this perk was literally just like dominating the game. And now you can just play M1 killers. You can just play characters that don't handle Dead Hard very well because Dead Hard's just not a thing. Sure, everybody's running Sprint Burst now, but Sprint Burst takes some thought. It's not just like easy peasy lemon squeezy. So it's nice. It's just really nice to not have to worry about it. And the people that do run Dead Hard, you just bait it. You try to play smart. And if they bait you correctly, that's your own darn fault, right? That's your own darn fault. And I think that makes everybody happier. I think it makes everybody happier when killers are not going that crazy. They're not running a bunch of trillion slowdown or anything like that. I think that makes the game health better. And the fact that it has never been more appetizing to just not run slowdown or run only one. This is my favorite patch that I've played of this game so far. I think there's other patches I like a lot. And there's some patches that I feel like I like more, but I feel like that's just nostalgia goggles. I feel like this patch has been, and it's only been 1 day, so these are just impressions. I feel like this is my favorite patch of the game. I feel like this is my favorite patch that I've played. I looked forward to every match of Survivor. I looked forward to every match of Killer today. I had a really, really good time playing the game, and it feels really nice. But I think that comes down to the core fact that what this mid-chapter patch did, like I made a video about, talking about the crutch perk community, a lot of crutch perks were just kneecapped. Pop, ruin, Dead Hard, chopped them, just hacked them down, like chopped them down like a tree. Gone. These perks that required so like little thought, but so much value, they cut those down to size. They took those down. So now a lot of the perks that you just kind of got value just for bringing the darn thing are out. The cheesiness, the cheesing of this game got significantly lowered. Believe me, it's not over, right? Like you could still like toolbox prove Gen Rush. You can still run for slowdown. But all these things are less effective than they were before. Even those things are less effective than they were before. And even if it's not perfect now, we're in a really good direction. And I want to say this because I've spent a long time on this channel just like talking about like, oh, well, behavior doesn't do this right. Behavior doesn't understand this right. I mean, like just yesterday, I made a video talking about how like their collision boxes are really leaving a lot to be desired, so to speak. But good on behavior. How many videos have I made on this channel talking about like how much they don't listen and they don't care and they don't like what we want doesn't matter to them? They literally overhauled most of their game, and look at how little broke. Like, do you know how many times they put out a chapter? Like, they put out a chapter fix, and not even a chapter fix. You know how many times they put out like a new chapter, and like the whole game just breaks? Like, there's like 4 or 5 perks that don't work and stuff like that. And there's still some of that here. But what I'm saying is like they changed a lot of stuff. They put in a full new prestige system. They put in a whole bunch of perk changes. They dropped a ton of cosmetics with in the new menu with like the Attack on Titan stuff here in the background. It's like, and the game is like about as stable as it usually is, even though they did like 2-3 times the work. I made this joke in the last video where I did these impressions. Who replaced our behavior? I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering who got fired? Like, who left? That was the problem. Because I feel like if behavior was like this the whole 2 years I've played this game, I don't know, dude. Like I would have not complained. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, to be frank. Like a lot of this YouTube channels going, this is dumb and I hate this. But yeah, not round of applause, but like good on them. Like good stuff, behavior. You don't often make me incredibly happy, but like, I don't know. I can't even say that anymore. They've just been making good changes lately. Like Dredge was fun, and the perks that came along with them are fun. It's just like they've just been not missing lately, and they keep not missing, which is leading me to believe that, like I said in a video a long time ago, are we about to enter the golden era of DBD? Are things really about to get like super fun and great again? Because that's exciting. That's cool. And I don't think I felt this optimistic about the game in a long time. So that's really pleasant. It's really nice. So yeah, how did you feel about the mid-chapter patch 6.10? How did you like it today? Did you find some extensive problems that make you feel like you're going to quit the game? Or have you been like me where you're like, I'm pleasantly surprised at how great this is? Let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, that's going to be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And hopefully I will see you in tomorrow's video. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.